Welcome back, guys. Automotive Inquiries here. So I drove the 24 Sierra 2500 yesterday, and it had the max trailering package. And so within, I don't know, 12 hours, some people are blasting me saying, "You don't know what you're talking about. You know, this is what this package is, and that max trailering 2500 is not a 3500, and you're being misinformative, and how dare you?" Okay, first of all, here we go, guys. All right. I don't know why GM put out the max tow package for a 2500, but we're going to go over what it is and its capabilities. Now, all along, I said that if you have to have a 3500 and a 3500 makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside because it says 3500 and you're towing a 10,000 pound tent trailer, go get it. Okay? Spend your money. None of what I'm saying is set in stone, obviously. I'm here to tell you my trial and errors in my buying history and hopefully save you some money, because what I'll tell you at the end of the day is you can spend all the money in the world on a truck that you don't need, but that extra money you could have saved, maybe you get to take your kids on a trip, a different trip than camping, or maybe you get to take an extra day off of work to spend with your family or loved ones. I'm trying to put it in context, because if you go to a dealer and say, "I'm here to buy a truck," they're going to say, "Cool, what makes you happy?" And you're going to find the prettiest and the biggest one. They'll sell it to you because they don't care. All right. I do care about my watchers. And somebody was saying that you're just being misinformative. So here we go. All right. I don't know why GM put out a 2500 max tow package, max trailing package. I'm not going to argue with you anymore on verbiage. I'm going to use motor and engine synonymously. Okay. And I'm also going to say Chevy when I mean GMC, and GMC when I mean Chevy, because they're sister trucks. Okay. Now, the max trailering package is something that you can order. So it always has been, no matter what trim you pick, a 2500 has always started less than a 3500. Because there's a lot that goes into making a 1-ton pickup, right? Or that 3500. Because I know somebody's going to argue with me. A 1-ton pickup is not a true 1-ton. Okay. Here we go. So, there's a lot that goes into making a 3500 series truck. But GM decided to, for 2024, give you the opportunity to build a max trailering package 2500. Now, some people have argued with me and said, "Well, in 21, I'm not talking about 21. I'm not talking about 2018. I'm talking about when I'm talking about dates right now." And at the end of the day, you're right. A 35 is still going to be a 35, and a 25 is still going to be a 25. However, this is something that allows somebody to save some more money. All right. If you think you might need that just a little bit more extra capacity, but you already know the 2500 is going to work, for as inexpensive as it is, it makes sense. In addition to that, the max trailering package adds certain things in that package that you might find helpful, that if you bought a la carte, not in the max trailering package, you bought, say, the gooseneck prep separately and this and that, you kind of foregone saving the money. And if you go up to the 3500 automatically, it's going to cost you more to start. All right. So if you don't need it, why waste your money? But for all the people that are going to argue with me that the 35 is the best, fit your needs, go get it. Okay. This channel is about creating conversation and giving people the opportunity to save money, not waste where they don't need to waste. Give them the best opportunity if they're like, "I never thought of that." Just give them another idea. Okay. It's not an end all. Now, I do appreciate all my watchers here, but if you're going to come into the thing and say, "Well, now I just got to argue," listen, I could put 1,000 people in a room, give them all the instruction manual, they can all read it, and at the end of that, not a single one of them is going to agree that they understood it the exactly same way. So I just try and keep it simple. When I say the 2500 max trailing package is kind of a 3500, it kind of is. And here's why. When we go over to Chevy or Sierra's website and we click on here, you can click add. Now, this number is going to change a little bit depending on other things, because if we click on the I for information, it says, we'll just go line by line, everybody, because somebody argued with me this morning and said, "Well, my 21 rear end is a 12-inch and a 3/4 tons, 11 and a half. Listen, man, I'm not getting into microns or inches, okay? This is what GM's saying. If you buy this package, you're getting a 3500 HD frame, 3500 HD leaf springs, 12-inch rear, 3500 HD shock package, the gooseneck fifth wheel prep provisions, bed wheel stamp holes and caps installed, and some other equipment. All right. So I like that a lot. I like the idea of that. Because with GM trucks, you can add aftermarket parts to make that fifth wheel provision, but you cannot put a factory one in there. So I like the factory one because it works with all my Kurt stuff and my BMW and everything like that. So that by all a la carte would be not only a 3500 truck, but you'd be talking about the fifth wheel tow prep stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. So I think this is a good opportunity for somebody that wants to save a little bit of dough to do it. Now, somebody then goes and says, well, rear end, stop at the rear end business. Chevy has one rear end for the gas and one for the diesel. Okay. Ford has a handful that are different. Ram has a handful that are different, but really Chevy keeps it pretty simple. You get this one if you want to buy a gas, and you get this one if you want to buy a diesel. So we're not arguing that. Okay. And when I basically said, is it 3500? Here's the more proof. Okay. So most of all of us are going to buy a crew cab standard bed 4x4. This first column right here is the LAT, so this is your gasser. You get a 373 rear end, you get 16K max trailering, and then we're going to forget about kilograms, but you can see them right there just in case you guys use metric. We pop over here, and I got a 342 for the diesel. You can see right there, every column 342. So although you might be an 11 3/4 and a 12 inch, okay, minute. All right, so let's zap over here. So let's see here, a standard crew cab, 2500. Towing capacity with a ball hitch, so conventional towing, and we go here and it says that you're going to get an 18.5 tow rating. Okay, then that's conventional tow. We'll go to gooseneck here in a second. All right, so this is your 2500. Now let's go right here. This NHT is your max towing package. All right, 342s, 20K. All right, that's what you're going to get. So you could see the difference in that. Now, these are the different trim levels up and down this column. We're just going to stick with the crew cab standard bed, and you can see that those are going to change based on your payload needs, and it's slightly, okay? So now let's go check out the 1 ton. So we're at 20,000 here. Let's go see. All right, so we are right here, the 2024 Chevy Silverado 3500, towing capacities, ball hitch, conventional tow. Because somebody said in here I'm misleading people by talking about this being or having similar capabilities. I'm not. And then they went on to say all the information is here on the internet. So I'm doing the searching for you. I'm trying to find the information for you. I'm going to try and present it. Now, if I openly omit something on purpose, which I've never done, to try and dislead anybody, because I'm not a Chevy fan, I'm not a Ford fan, I'm not a Ram fan. I love all trucks. It doesn't behoove me to do that to anybody. That's the whole purpose of my channel, is to help people, not to be like, ooh, I tricked you into buying a max tow 2500 and you could have bought a 3500. Geez, that's hilarious. That's silly. All right, let's zap over here. See, crew cab, standard bed, single rear wheel, 4x4, 342. And what do we got? 20K, guys. All right. So, and you won't see the tow package here, the max tow, it's only on a 3/4 ton. So it's the exact same tow rating. So when people want to sit here and argue with me saying, well, I know better because of the 21 and the we're not talking about that. We're talking about 2024 specs. And if you've beefed up your 21 to tow a locomotive, great. But that is not what we're talking about here. All right. Now let's look at gooseneck. All right, right here at the very top of the screen, 2024 towing capabilities with fifth wheel or gooseneck. All right, so we zap over here. Again, there's the two-wheel drive. Let's go to four-wheel drive. Standard is 19.1, right? All right. Crew cab standard bed with max tow package 4x4, only comes in the diesel, 21.6. All right, we're back over here. 2024 Chevy Silverado 3500 HD towing specs, fifth wheel or gooseneck hitch. Again, you're not going to see that little #1 here for the max tow. It is only on 2500. You can see right here for the previous column, NHT max trailing package. So let's go right here. Crew cab standard bed 4x4, 21.6. Okay. So now, like I said before, guys, again, I knew that these numbers existed, but somebody wanted to argue this morning saying, well, that's not true. That's just not true. It's not true. It's 21. I'm past that. Okay. But it is frustrating that somebody thinks I'm not trying to be informative. I'm just trying to keep it simple. Okay. If you're an engineer and you want to talk decimals and micrometers and get down to the minute, okay, we could do that all day. I just showed you the meat and potatoes is right here. Okay. And I never said the 2500 is a 3500 by theory, it can't be because it's a 2500. So at the end of the day, guys, I want to be as informative as I possibly can with you, and I want to help you. Okay, because one thing I've learned in all my years of buying cars and expensive junk is sometimes I didn't need all that swag, and when I spent it, I was later complaining about not having dough when I could have used that money and spent more time with my kids. And I got good time with my boys, but I could have spent more time. And I work super hard every day. I have a full-time job. I'm not one of these clowns that puts up these channels and doesn't respond to you guys. If you guys comment, I usually give you a thumbs up or I'll respond to you. I'm here for you. I really am. But after working from basically getting up at 3 in the morning, hitting the gym, going to work for 10 to 12 hours a day, especially during the summer, coming home, cooking, cleaning, doing all my stuff here, raising my boys, getting everybody to bed, working on research and trying to find new ways to add good content to the channel, I literally get about 4.5 hours of sleep. And sometimes I talk a little funny and sometimes I miss something, but it's never intentional. And I will definitely try and make sure. But when I just try and keep it simple, because most people, when we talk about things like max trailer tow, well, is it a value? Yeah, it's a value. And here's why. But at the end of the day, it's not one of these things of, well, my truck's better than yours. Okay. That's not what this here is. And somebody will say, well, my thing in the past, if we're talking about the past one, then we'll talk about that. But I'm just trying to give you the best thing I possibly can versus these other people that just algorithm everything. They have YouTube, do all the automation and stuff. They go out. There was one the other day, the guy was cracking me up. He goes out and does a video saying this is the best inexpensive work truck out there. And in 3-4 days, he has 60,000 views. And within a week, he's back on there rebranding the same content, saying it's now the worst and most expensive. And people are watching it. So, good for them. But they don't care about their watchers, and I do. So when I ask you to subscribe, I'm hoping that you're finding some value here or you want to help my channel out. But a guy like me, I'm just here to work, and I'm going to keep it as simple as I can because most of you don't care about Bosch CP4 14574, and the people that are going to argue with me that there's an extra repeating decimal on there, we can do that all day. But at the end of the day, guys, this is Automotive Inc. I'm just shortening my name a little bit too because sometimes it's a mouthful. But yeah, I hope this does answer some information on GM's max trailering package for the 2024 Silverado and Sierra HD. And if I end up picking up the Sierra, I think it's an absolute good value. See you on the next one.